Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for allowing us the continuation of our lecture, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sufficed us in all, and we're really appreciative of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's doings and the favors upon His religion. I urge my soul and your souls to have that inner consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We should stop this business of talking about taqwa and the fear of Allah, and we are only tongue lashing it. The issue is taqwa settles in the heart. As the Prophet said, at-taqwa ha-huna. The taqwa settles in the heart. And it's not you to claim with all your misdeeds and you say, no, at-taqwa ha-huna. No. When the taqwa settles in the heart, it must translate into actions. It must permeate your body cells so that we see the evidence and the presence of taqwa through your actions and your deeds. So when we come here and we counsel ourselves upon taqwa, that is the counsel that the Prophet ﷺ was offering to the ummah. So please, brothers and sisters, when we come here, we come to remind ourselves and to get the best guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and from the dictates of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Last JUMAH, briefly, we looked at the examples of the women that failed to achieve the success. Yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had put them under the guardianship of the best human beings, prophets. The wife of Noah and the wife of Lot, they were under pious servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَخَانَتَاهُمَا, but they betrayed. They betrayed. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to chastise them. Then Allah flipped the coin and addressed the believers and gave us examples so that our wives can have role models. So that you teach your daughters and you give them examples from the pious ladies that went before us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَضَرَبَ اللَّهُ مَثَلًا لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِمْرَأَةَ فِرْعَوْنَ. Look at the example, the wife of Fir'aun. And then another example is Maryam. وَمَرْيَمَ ابْنَةَ عِمْرَانَ, the daughter of Imran, Maryam, the mother of Isa alayhi salam. So we have to teach our wives and daughters and prepare them to begin to look up to those people. Not to look at the television and they see the TV stars and the movie stars and they take them as role models. That's why today we cannot even control them, because they're out of our control. They're guided by, strangers, not ourselves. You can't talk to your 18-year-old daughter. You cannot. She's beyond you. She's beyond you. And these are the signs of Qiyamah. And talid al-amatu rabbataha. You're going to produce your own bosses in your homes. You produce your master. She's commanding over you. You want to take her to this school. She says, I'm not going to study from that school. I want this school. And you have to bow down and take her where she wants to go. That's a sign of Qiyamah. But why? We have failed our duty as men to show these people where they are supposed to look up. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us examples. And today Allah in Surah Al-Ahzab, He gives us another set of role models for this ummah. Our Prophet had many wives because Allah wanted the entire ummah to benefit from these examples. The honorable consorts of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, النَّبِيُّ أَوْلَى بِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ مِنْ أَنفُسِهِمْ وَأَزْوَاجُهُ أُمَّهَاتُهُمْ. First of all, you must consider your prophet to be more valuable in your life than your own self. You don't have any value regardless of your expertise, whether you work in which office, whether you are a leader, or whatever you are. The prophet is better than you in your own life. أَوْلَى بِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ مِنْ أَنفُسِهِمْ وَأَزْوَاجُهُ أُمَّهَاتُهُمْ. And the consorts of that prophet, the wives, honorable spouses of our prophet, they are our mothers. They are our mothers. So they are to nurture us. We're supposed to look up to them. Let our wives point their gaze towards them. Let our daughters also learn from them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Ahzab, He was preparing those honorable wives because they are the mothers. so that the entire ummah can study from them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in trying to make them the exemplars, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Ya nisa an-nabi lastunna ka ahadin min an-nisa. The moment you enter into the marriage of the Prophet, you cease to be any ordinary woman. So you cannot behave like any other ordinary person. So since our wives, the believing wives, are supposed to follow their mothers, it means now from today onwards, we don't expect them to be as ordinary as any other wife, as any other woman. لَسْتُنَّ كَأَحَدٍ مِّنَ النِّسَاءِ. You are no longer local people. Don't demean yourself. Don't downtrod yourself. Don't devalue yourself by undressing and thinking that you are attracting insane people towards your shape or your figure or your beauty. Don't behave like an animal. لَسْتُنَّ كَأَحَدٍ مِّنَ النِّسَاءِ. If the entire world is undressing, you are not like them. You are no longer like them. Because for you have an example. Those people outside, they have an example. لَسْتُنَّ كَأَحَدٍ مِّنَ النِّسَاءِ إِنِ اتَّقَيْتُنَّ. If you should fear Allah, if you choose to fear Allah, فَلَا تَخْضَعْنَ بِالْقَوْلِ فَيَطْمَعَ الَّذِي فِي قَلْبِهِ مَرَضٌ. Don't you ever soften your voices. Don't ever speak in a seductive way when you exit your homes. And Allah began by the speech because it is the cause of all evil. Your tongue leads to the misdeeds of your private parts. When you protect your tongue, you might protect most of your body parts. So فَلَا تَخْضَعْنَ بِالْقَوْلِ. Those tones, our wives are rude at home when they're talking to their husbands. But when they get a phone call, they suddenly change the tone. You can bear witness to this. They suddenly are good people, humble people, they're caring, the customer care, and all that stuff. Now when a man talks, the husband talks, she's just arrogant. She's just straight. She's just rude. She's just abrupt. We need to save our wives and give them the best direction. When you're talking to your husband, humble yourself. When you're talking to a stranger, be sharp and straight. Go to the point. Go to the issue. At least you will save the ummah from this fitna. This is the message Allah has given us. And this is the reason why we come to these houses, to get that guidance from Allah and from His messenger. If you cannot understand that, we don't have any literature that we can read for you to be guided. So you go back, you sit with your wife and daughters, and you show them what Allah is telling to them in Surah Al-Ahzab, to at least make sure that they speak with value. وَقُلْنَا قَوْلًا مَعْرُوفًا. Speak words of value and substance. But wives are just like sick people before the strangers, because you're going to cause the diseased man to covet for you, to desire you. And when he desires you, you're going to end up in zina. And you're not saving yourself. These are the unwanted pregnancies leading to unwanted abortions and deaths and change, putting these family planning issues which are changing their menstrual cycles and making them useless to themselves. Had you understood what your Creator told you, we could be guided and we could rid ourselves from most of the problems. Alima man alima, the one who had. Wajahila man jahila, if you choose not to understand, that's your choice. واختاما أصلي وأسلم على سيدنا محمد حيث أمر الله مخبرا وعامرا إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد وارض اللهم عن أئمة الحنفاء أبي بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي وعن بقية الصحابة رضوان الله تعالى عليهم أجمعين اللهم ربنا أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا ولا تجعلنا أتباعه اللهم ربنا إنا نجعلك في نحور أعداء الإسلام ونعوذ بك من شرورهم اللهم اكفنا شرهم اللهم ربنا ألف بين قلوب المسلمين واهدنا رشاد أمرنا اللهم ربنا وفقنا لما تحبه وترضاه خذ بنواصينا للبر والتقوى آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار والحمد لله رب العالمين.